On the Golden Globes, we have fewer camera shots of Taylor Swift.
What is that? It's the end of.
Even if you've had one drink, don't get behind the wheel of a car.
I wouldn't have picked Vice President Trump to be Vice President.
First of all, congrats on your little bump.
Congrats on your little bump.
People are taking the lyrics of Defying Gravity and really holding space with that.
I didn't know that was happening.
I've seen it, yeah.
2024 was the messiest year in history. And history. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'll be going through every single hot mess that happened in pop culture in 2024. And as you can see from the link for this video, we have a lot to talk about. I have already made videos on January, February, and March, but I did miss out on some things that I have now added into this video, so you are getting access to the director's cut. Also, for those that have already seen those videos, it has been a maximum of like 9 months since you have last watched it, so why not go down memory lane a second time? Starting off 2024, Elmo hopped onto Twitter to innocently tweet, "Elmo is just checking in. How is everybody doing?" And how is everybody doing?
Not well, bitch.
People flooded the comments with trauma dumps, which I do not think Elmo was equipped to handle. In summary, this was the equivalent to when Eureka O'Hara tweeted, "I feel so thick and sexy today. What about y'all?" And someone responded, "I feel like Eureka." On January 5th, an Alaska Airlines flight from Oregon to California once again reminded me of why I'm afraid of flying. 29 minutes into the flight, a sheet metal door plug covering the emergency exit on the flight suddenly blew off at approximately 16,000 feet above ground, leaving a gaping, human-sized hole in the middle of the cabin.
That's what you said. And you know what? What was that?
Luckily enough, no one was sitting in the seat where the hole was. This passenger missed their flight, which is kind of a universe saving them. It turned out that somebody had forgotten to tighten the bolts on the door. Now I'm going to be asking the question to every flight attendant, have the bolts been tightened? Every single bolt. Check every single bolt. On January 8th, we get the first award show of 2024, the Golden Globes. I did a full video on it right here if you want to go watch. But first, I have to tell you about a game-changing product that you can take before a night of fun with drinks. It is a pre-alcohol called Z-Biotics. With New Year's Eve right around the corner, here's how you can start your 2025 feeling fresh. Z-Biotics pre-alcohol probiotic drink is the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. It was invented by PhD scientists to tackle rough mornings after drinking. Here's how it works. When you drink, alcohol gets converted into a toxic byproduct in the gut. It's this byproduct, not dehydration, that's to blame for your rough next day. Pre-alcohol produces an enzyme to break down this byproduct. Just remember to make Z-Biotics your first drink of the night, drink responsibly, and you'll feel your best tomorrow. When I first gave pre-alcohol a try, I was a bit skeptical, but I could not believe how fresh I felt the next day. Why should your New Year's resolution be to have fewer nights of fun when you can use Z-Biotics? Use the link in my description to get 15% off your first order. The discount is automatically applied. Z-Biotics is backed with a 100% money-back guarantee, so if you are unsatisfied for any reason, they'll refund your money. No questions asked. Thank you, Z-Biotics, for sponsoring this video and our good times. So what are you waiting for? Use the link in the description to get 15% off your first order. This year's host was Joe Coy, actor and comedian who bombed. His jokes just ranged from being unfunny to incredibly concerning. He made a sad joke about the Barbie movie.
Barbie is on a plastic doll with big boobies.
An eyebrow-raising joke about Barry Keoghan.
Where's Barry Keoghan seated? Where's your penis seated?
And of course, this terrible joke about Taylor Swift.
Big difference between the Golden Globes and the NFL. On the Golden Globes, we have fewer camera shots of Taylor Swift. I swear. There's just more to go to. Okay.
And that is not even scratching the surface. You should definitely go watch my video on it to get the full story. Joe Coy said that he is not sure whether he would host again if they ask him, which is very optimistic that you think that they would ask you again.
Yo, I got the gig 10 days ago. You want a perfect monologue? Yo, Shut up.
During the final few days of 2023, Gypsy Rose Blanchard was released from prison and became 2024's first It Girl.
I do. I was in a 2-on-2.
If you do not know Gypsy's story, it's incredibly sad. Her mother was making her daughter sick so that the mother could get sympathy. Gypsy Rose eventually caught on to what her mother was doing and plotted with her boyfriend at the time to unalive her mother. This led Gypsy to serving 7 years in prison, but society was kind of on her side. They were kind of like, you were done wrong, we kind of get where you were coming from. So when she was released from prison, everyone was like, you're the people's princess now.
When Miss Blanchard gets released, I need y'all to be normal.
During her time in prison, she met her now husband, Ryan Scott Anderson. Fans of Gypsy were a little bit worried about him, worried about her well-being around him, and she ended up posting on Instagram, Ryan, don't listen to the haters. I love you and you love me. We do not owe anyone anything. Our family is who matters. If you get likes and good comments, great. If you get hate, then whatever, because they don't matter. I love you. But that's not all, because she goes on to say, besides, they're jealous because you are rocking my world every night. Yeah, I said it. The D is fire. Happy wife, happy life.
And the D is
Okay. Ryan then responded to this love letter by saying, who said I give a damn about what these jealous people say anyway? Now come get it, baby. Okay. On January 26, Megan Thee Stallion released her single Hiss, which contained the lyrics, these hoes don't be mad at Megan, these hoes be mad at Megan's law. This bar was a bit too intellectual for a person like me. Megan's law is referring to a law where registered schmick vendors cannot go to certain places and travel to certain areas because of their status. Fans online speculated that this was a direct jab at Nicki Minaj's husband Kenneth Petty, who is a registered schmick vendor. Nicki Minaj and Megan Thee Stallion have a lot of history. All the way back in 2019, Nicki Minaj showed a lot of support to Megan Thee Stallion during the infancy of her mainstream success. She even featured on Megan's song Hot Girl Summer. However, in 2020, Megan Thee Stallion was featured on WAP with Cardi B, Nicki Minaj's mortal enemy. This appeared to be a little bit disloyal. Usually, your best friend's enemies are your enemies. This moment definitely strained their relationship. In 2023, Nicki Minaj released a song, Red Ruby to Sleaze, which contained the lyric, I don't f with horses since Christopher Reeves. This is a reference to Christopher Reeves' accident in 1995 with a horse that left him paralyzed, but it is also referencing Megan Thee Stallion, horse, I don't f with horses, I don't f with stallions. You get the message. Nicki Minaj also went on to Instagram Live writing her track Bigfoot, which repeatedly says, lying on your dead mama, which refers to Megan Thee Stallion's late mother who died in March 2019.
Lied on your dead mama, 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 mama, lied on your dead mama, lied on your dead mama.
lied on her dead mama.
Nicki then officially released Bigfoot onto streaming platforms, and the song also contained the lyrics, the fell off, I said, get up on your good foot, which was referring to Megan Thee Stallion getting shot in the foot by Tory Lanez.
Fragment, foot, bullet fragment, foot, bullet fragment, your bullet fragment. Get up on your good foot. Does say get up on your good foot, not your bad foot.
There are also lyrics in Bigfoot that allege that Megan was lying about getting shot in the foot, which does not make sense considering you've also got the line, get up on your good foot. Does that not imply that she has a bad foot from being shot in the foot? Like, it doesn't really add up. With the release of Bigfoot, has shot up to 3.8 million streams, helping it get the #1 spot on the US Spotify charts, and ultimately went #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. And Bigfoot did not hit the top 50. On January 25th, Justin Timberlake released his first solo song in 6 years titled Selfish. Following his past controversies, including the 2004 Super Bowl incident with Janet Jackson, as well as his alleged bad treatment of Britney Spears in the past, the Britney army decided to make him flop. Britney Spears also has a song called Selfish on her 2011 album Femme Fatale. The Britney Army decided to mass buy the song so that it would hit #1 on the iTunes charts, while Justin Timberlake's Selfish was at #2. While we are on the topic of Britney Spears, reports have surfaced that Britney has been banned from the Four Seasons Hotel in Los Angeles for swimming topless in the hotel pool. Even though Britney's team has denied this report, apparently other pool guests felt uncomfortable with her presence being topless, but come on now. It's Britney, bitch! Upon research, it seems like Britney has had a very turbulent past with this Four Seasons hotel. All the way back in 2008, the hotel issued her a legal notice of trespass to keep her away from the premises. Like, why does she keep going back there? Like, I'm sure there's another hotel, babe. We have now made it to February 2024, the messier month compared to January, which is crazy considering that February has less days. Its mess ratio is outstanding. But before I get into it, please do not forget to subscribe if you have not done so already. On February 1st, Universal Music Group pulled all of their music off of TikTok, muting a bunch of viral audios and trends in the process. This came about after failing to reach a deal with the app to renew its licensing agreement. Artists' music that has been pulled off the platform include Taylor Swift, Ariana Grande, Rihanna, SZA, Olivia Rodrigo, Bad Bunny, Drake, and so many more artists. Universal Music Group claims that TikTok is not compensating their artists enough, which raises a couple questions for me. Firstly, why have other record labels not made the same move if they're not being compensated enough? And on top of that, even if TikTok is paying these record labels pennies, wouldn't you argue that TikTok is the #1 way to promote music? It seems like the artists are incredibly frustrated about their music being taken off of TikTok. For years, they have been told by their record labels to have a big viral moment on TikTok before the record label would even consider releasing their music. Now, none of that's available. There's no way to have a viral moment on TikTok if you won't allow their music on TikTok.
Yeah, I mean, my career's over for sure. I'm never gonna have a hit song ever again at this rate.
Mess. On February 2nd, Demi Lovato performed to a crowd of heart attack survivors singing her hit song, Heart Attack. It's giving Beyonce performing Diva at the 9/11 memorial concert. You know what, this could have been a lot worse. At least she did not sing Give Your Heart a Break or Stone Cold. Demi's team then had to release a statement singing Sorry Not Sorry, just kidding. They actually said the choice of the song was deliberate as Demi aimed to highlight the mind-heart connection during her performance. Demi suffered her own heart attack in 2018 after her schmoverdose, and despite the pushback, she encouraged the crowd to raise awareness for cardiovascular disease. This performance gives me a lot of hope that one day she will sing Cool for the Summer and Really Don't Care at a climate crisis convention. On the 3rd of February, Ayo Edebiri caught herself in a bit of a mess when an old podcast clip resurfaced online. Back in 2020 on the podcast Scam Goddess, Ayo made some pretty bold claims about Jennifer Lopez.
Her whole career is one long scam.
Oh, the longest con.
She thinks she's on multiple tracks, but it's not her. I think she thinks that she's still good, even though she's not singing for most of these songs.
Where it gets awkward is that Ayo was set to host Saturday Night Live with the musical guest of none other than
Hi, I'm Ayo Edebiri, and I am hosting SNL this week with Jennifer Lopez. I'm really excited. I love your show. I love your everything.
During the episode of Saturday Night Live, Ayo makes a reference to the mess during one of the sketches.
Or run your mouth on a podcast and you don't consider the impact because you're 24 and stupid. But I think I speak for everyone when I say from now on, we're going to be a lot more thoughtful about what we post online.
Jennifer later clarified in an interview that Ayo apologized to her backstage with tears in her eyes. The dramatics. At the end of the episode, when Ayo thanks everyone for watching, she instantly runs up to hug someone to avoid any awkwardness standing next to Jennifer Lopez. I guess this is a good opportunity for me to apologize to JLo for comments that I made about her in my 2009 VMA video. Ashanti's Ursula then comes out to present Best Hip Hop Video. The nominees are... That is coming back to haunt me. Oh my god. The greatest reaction to this entire mess was definitely Tina Fey, who said this.
Learn from my mistakes. Learn from IO. Podcasts are forever.
5 seconds.
Authenticity is dangerous and expensive. I don't think so, honey.
In late February, we got a hysterical reaction to a Swiftie hearing Taylor Swift play Exile outside of a venue because she could not secure a ticket. Her friends are somewhat confused by her breakdown because she plays Exile at every single show. So why is she so shook? Also, because she knows that she is filming herself, she remembers to slide her feet out of the shot midway through her crying. Also in February, Mariah Carey was honored with the Global Impact Award at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Stevie Wonder paid tribute to her, applauding her for her career accomplishments and expressing gratitude for her friendship, but then we get this moment. Mess. On February 5th, King Charles, 1 year and a half into his reign as the King of the United Kingdom, was diagnosed with cancer. And of course, the internet reacted by saying that he would be reincarnated as Trisha Paytas' second baby, Elvis. For those that do not know, when Queen Elizabeth died, people made jokes that she would be reincarnated into Trisha Paytas' first baby, Malibu Barbie. Crazy to think that every time Trisha Paytas gets pregnant, the ruler of the UK falls ill. When a new supreme rises, the old one fades away. Also on the 5th of February, Taylor Swift landed in some hot water at the 2024 Grammys. I also did a video covering the entire hot mess that was the 2024 Grammys that you can go watch right here. Celine Dion, who was diagnosed with stiff person syndrome, made a surprise appearance to announce the winner for Album of the Year. Taylor Swift wins and she is completely surprised but also incredibly excited, and because of this, she kind of forgets to acknowledge Celine Dion. She doesn't even look at her in the eyes when she takes the award from her. Fans found this incredibly disrespectful, especially considering how people like Miley Cyrus cherish legends like Mariah Carey during her acceptance speech. But Taylor Swift's PR team never misses, so they quickly get a shot of the two taking a photo together and post it online because everything is fine and nothing is to worry about. On the 6th of February, Dubai hosted the UAE SWAT Challenge 2024. This prestigious competition brings together tactical and special task teams from around the world to compete in a challenge. It's like American Ninja Warrior, but with SWAT teams. The Chilean team was proud of their participation due to being an all-female SWAT team. However, after arriving at the first obstacle, they get themselves into a bit of a pickle.
Well, they are stuck in the middle of that zip line. Oh! 3 team members in the drink. Retrieved all of the equipment. Oh! These guys and girls here are carrying a lot of kit and equipment. And it weighs you down as soon as you go in that water, and it's
Miss. On the 8th of February, the United States held their annual Super Bowl. This year's halftime show performer was Usher, that performed a medley of hits and brought out a bunch of surprise guests, including Alicia Keys, who sung her song If I Ain't Got You. It was the voice crack of the century. People found this moment very funny, and it was harmless because everybody knows how talented of a singer that Alicia Keys is. However, when the Super Bowl posted the full version of the halftime show on YouTube, something was a little different.
Some people want it all.
They edited out the voice crack.
Some people want it all.
They are trying to rewrite history right in front of our eyes. As a self-proclaimed historian, thank God I am here to give you the objective truth. On February 16, Kelly Rowland was set to appear on The Today Show to promote her movie Mea Culpa, however, allegedly left after arriving to see a disappointing dressing room. She was set to co-host a segment, so the show had to quickly come up with a plan B, which turned out to be Rita Ora.
Good morning, Rita Ora. We're talking about you.
Apparently, Jennifer Lopez had the good dressing room, which subjected Kelly to the worst dressing room, which was just not good enough. Mess. Leading up to the release of the movie Dune Part 2, theaters around the United States promoted the film by releasing a limited edition popcorn bucket. It's meant to reference the sandworm creatures in the movie, however, it's sorta kind of looking like something else. On February 21st, Boy George released his new song, Religion. This is the single cover, and this is Kylie Minogue's album Tension. What? Boy George said that he is recycling Kylie's album cover and then said even fashion is catching on. Like, what? What? Miss!
But you did this for what? Why not? Why? Why not? Why though?
On February 23rd, the 5 years with no album queen, Normani wiped her entire Instagram page. One of her fan accounts, Normani Nation, posted this news with the caption, "What is happening?" However, fans quickly caught on to the fact that the edit profile button is featured within the screenshot, which means that the fan account has access to Normani's official Instagram account, which implies that Normani is running this fan account. Mess! After being exposed, the Normani Nation account quickly deleted the post and then tweeted, "Official Team Normani at your service. Stay tuned, y'all." Confirming that this account will be used as the official account to post Normani updates akin to Taylor Nation for Taylor Swift. It's so messy because why are you releasing this news right after being exposed for running your own fan account? And two, why are you only bringing this up now when this account was made in 2022? It's not adding up. I cannot stop thinking about the fact that Normani potentially called herself mother.
This is a potential mother.
5 years with no album, exposed for running your own fan account. The pressure's on, babe.
You've been going through a whole lot.
On February 27th, an event organizer promoted an immersive experience based on the Warner Brothers movie Wonka. It promised a Candyland-type world using this photo as advertising. However, this was the reality. People traveled far and wide to attend this event, so they were not too happy with the result. Police were called to the venue after complaints were made by families whose children were in tears.
What is that? It's the end.
In January, Kensington Palace announced that Princess Kate was scheduled for a planned abdominal surgery and would not resume her public duties until after Easter. On January 17th, Kate went into the hospital 1 day earlier than her planned surgery date. And on January 29th, it was announced that Kate had returned home safely after surgery. Of course, the internet made jokes about her being reincarnated as Trisha Paytas's baby, just like the jokes made about Queen Elizabeth and King Charles. However, the lack of detailed information provided by the palace fueled speculation about her health and whereabouts. Even Kim Kardashian got into her car to go find her. Social media ran rampant with crazy theories. These included lighthearted jokes about the theory that Kate's abdominal surgery was actually for BBL surgery, or that she was taking an excursion to Glasgow to clock into work as the unknown at the Willy Wonka experience.
What is that? It's the end.
But then, the theories got a little more intense. There was a theory that Prince William was having an affair, so Kate was leaving her marriage and her royal duties, or the theory that she was dead and was replaced with a body double while the palace was trying to figure out how to handle the situation. The palace's usual media playbook is to stay silent, but because of the virality around her disappearance, they ended up making a very sassy statement saying, Kensington Palace made it clear in January the timelines of the princess's recovery and would only be providing significant updates. That guidance stands. Oof! They were mad. The theories and jokes started to die down, but then everything came to a blazing heat in March. A paparazzi photo of Kate in a car was released, and people were like, who is that?
That's what she said. And you know what? What was that? Okay, James.
That is Meredith Marks.
No, if I were to go for the jugular and talk about the rumors, the nastiness about her, I wouldn't do that. I tell her to off.
The palace then circulated a picture of Kate smiling with her children in honor of Mother's Day in the UK. However, people quickly noticed some weird Photoshop errors with this image. How did this image pass through the royal palace? Some people even theorize that she is not even in the picture and that she was inserted in using her face from her Vogue cover. But let's be real for a second. Let's look at these two photos. They're very similar, same face, but it's not the exact same photo. AP, Reuters, and other photo agencies pulled this photo from circulation amid concerns that it was manipulated. This Photoshop flop was so huge that it wasn't just on social media, it hit the traditional news. It was the top story of the day. Because of all of this, on March 12th, Kate Middleton tweeted, "Like many amateur photographers, I do occasionally experiment with editing." Even though this photo was edited badly, I do not see a reality where Kate edited this photo herself. On March 19, Kate was spotted walking outside with Prince William, which was very concrete proof that Kate was alive and still with William.
I look pretty good for a dead bitch.
However, of course, you still had a bunch of people online saying, "That is not her! That's a body double, please. Sit down. It's over." Then, on March 23, Kate Middleton posted a video online announcing that she was diagnosed with cancer. We are all going to hell.
The surgery was successful. However, tests after the operation found cancer had been present.
What?
After months of joking about her getting a BBL, clocking into the Willy Wonka experience, you're telling me she has cancer?
I owe you the biggest apology.
Even though we should all feel bad about making jokes about her whereabouts while all along she had cancer, let's not forget what the palace subjected her to. They let rumors fly that William was having an affair, they edited a photograph of her and her kids, and then made her take the fall for it and say that she edited it herself. Mess. On March 1st, we get some sweet niblets level drama with the Cyrus family. Noah Cyrus, the younger sister of Miley Cyrus, and Tish Cyrus, Miley's mother, had mad beef. The cause, might you ask? Tish's relationship with actor Dominic Purcell. The two got married in August 2023, and Noah was absent from the wedding. Tish allegedly did not even invite Noah to the wedding and even blocked her on Instagram. You might be wondering right now, why? Why on earth did this happen? Well, it turns out that Noah and Dominic dated before Dominic and Tish dated.
What?
Noah eventually stopped seeing Dominic, and then Tish started to pursue him without informing Noah. Mess. When Miley was asked to comment on the situation, she said she had no knowledge of it at all, but did find it weird.
It's getting weird.
During this month, Miami took a spring break from spring break. On the 4th of March, as a way to get rid of all of the chaos and mess that has plagued recent spring break seasons, Miami Beach took decisive action.
We're breaking up with you. And it's not us. It's you.
City officials, fed up with the massive crowds and unlawfulness, declared a state of emergency and started pushing to cancel spring break altogether. The measures implemented this year were the toughest yet. During the busiest weekends in March, the city enforced strict rules, including a flat parking rate of $30 at city garages, increased towing fees, and security checkpoints at beach entrances.
Welcome to fucking Zimbabwe, you stupid little pimp! Get away from here!
Mess. On the 5th of March, Michelle Williams, famous singer from Destiny's Child, did a bunch of adverts for Uber One, and let's just say, poor Michelle.
I was in one of the most iconic girl groups and no one recognizes me.
Michelle! Michelle! You spit that out! Huh? Naughty Michelle!
Sorry, but are you Michelle Williams? Yes. Yeah. Dropped your wallet.
Actually, not poor Michelle. This chick would have been huge. On the 6th of March, Camila Cabello was accused of copying Charli XCX with her new song, I Love It. Camila posted a snippet of her song while singing in a car, and people instantly made connections to Charli XCX. Firstly, the song is clearly inspired by hyperpop music, a genre that Charli XCX popularized, and secondly, Charli XCX has a song called I Got It that has a very similar chorus. This got even more messy when Charli XCX posted a video on her TikTok of herself in a car using her song I Got It with the caption, LOL. Camila responded to the accusations by emphasizing her admiration for Charli and considering the comparisons a huge compliment. She also clarified that the two are friends, saying Charli loves me so everybody can f*** off. In the past, the two have collaborated on songs like Oh My God and Señorita, and they have both toured together on Taylor Swift's Reputation tour, being opening acts. I think that this was a great PR stunt, but it was a mess. On March 10, reports came out that Sony was allegedly mad at Dakota Johnson for dragging her movie, Madam Web. For those that do not know, during the press run for this movie, Dakota was doing interviews saying things like she had not watched the movie, making it seem like the movie was bad.
I haven't actually seen the movie. Haven't you?
Madam Web got terrible reviews, but it did make a $20 million profit, so not too shabby. I don't know about you guys, but I had zero interest in watching this movie until I saw Dakota's interviews. I feel like the movie wouldn't have even broke even if it was not for her dragging it. What do you think? On March 17, while on tour, Madonna told everyone in her audience to stand up, but one person did not. Madonna called this person out only to realize that they were in a wheelchair.
What are you doing sitting down? Oh, okay. Politically incorrect. Sorry about that. I'm glad you're here.
Mess. On March 17, pop star Bruno Mars was the center of speculation regarding a staggering gambling debt. Reports circulated that Bruno owed MGM Resorts International over $50 million due to his gambling activities. However, MGM quickly debunked these claims by saying that Bruno has no outstanding debts with the company. So I guess no mess. This month, RuPaul Charles, the Queen of Drag, Emmy Award-winning host, and fracker, decided to speak up about his fracking.
Did you see that article from Instinct magazine?
Oh, the fracking?
No, not that.
Oh.
For those that do not know, RuPaul owns a 600-acre ranch in Wyoming with his husband. RuPaul revealed that he leased mineral rights to oil companies, meaning that they are fracking on his land, destroying the environment. RuPaul got massive criticism for this, so he kind of went silent on the topic. However, while on tour to promote his new book, he finally addressed it by saying, "Do you buy gas? Before you point the finger, smell it first."
Well,
mess. On March 19, a burglar in Melbourne, Australia took a very unconventional approach to robbing a bakery. Caught on CCTV footage, she was seen stretching and doing yoga poses right outside the bakery before breaking in.
Gosh, something wrong here.
Wearing all black, just like a cat burglar, she got into cat's pose before stealing a bunch of croissants. I mean, how else are you going to burn off all the calories? Starting off in the beginning of April, Gypsy Rose was once again all over the media. Gypsy separated from her husband Ryan Anderson, whom she married in 2022 while she was still in prison. The divorce was reported to be initiated by Gypsy due to Ryan's controlling behavior. She also noted that food hoarding and snoring were reasons for their separation. Ryan, on the other hand, blamed the pressures of being in the public eye as well as external influences, and I think what he is referring to is Gypsy's ex. They both quickly rekindled, and in July she announced that she was having a baby. Also in April, Madonna, Queen of the Gays, experienced an uprising, you could say, when two gay men decided to sue her for being late to her concert. The two men alleged that Madonna was liable for breach of contract and false advertising. This lawsuit stemmed from Madonna showing up 2 hours late to one of her concerts in December 2023. Look, I experienced the exact same thing when I saw Madonna back in 2016. She was like 2 to 3 hours late to my show. We are all frustrated by it. Even Cosmo was frustrated.
I just want to see Madonna. Ask Madonna what's up. Madonna, what is going on? You owe me a t-shirt, bitch.
But come on now. She's the queen of pop. Give her a pass. On April 12, O.J. Simpson died, and Caitlyn Jenner reacted to this news by tweeting, "Good riddance, #O.J. Simpson." There was also the story where Billie Eilish was complaining about how album variants are wasteful and bad for the environment, and it seemingly was attacking a particular artist. I think we all know who she was referring to.
Get a good lawyer.
However, when Billie released her album Hit Me Hard and Soft, there seemed to be a bit of hypocrisy in the water. Variants.
See, when you do clownery, the clown comes back to bite.
There was also a scandal revolving around Todrick Hall that happened in April. He opened up a GoFundMe because his family's house burned down, but said that he could not chip in due to financial struggles due to the pandemic and union strikes. His fans were able to raise $10,000 in only 3 days. However, soon after, Todrick threw a birthday party that looked incredibly extravagant. It had a petting zoo, mechanical bull, drag performers, a tattoo artist. Basically, this party was definitely more than $10,000, so it is not a very good look asking your fans to chip in money to help your family when you are throwing a big birthday bash. Yikes. We then arrive at Vanessa Hudgens' favorite time of year, Coachella.
Ooh, Coachella, sunnies.
Unfortunately, Vanessa was not able to attend this year because she was pregnant with her baby, which means that she missed out on seeing Grimes' nightmare of a performance. Her set was plagued with technical difficulties.
We're actually having a major technical difficulty.
Some of the tracks were playing at double speed, and there were a bunch of other equipment malfunctions. Grimes, who was visibly frustrated, tried to explain the issues to the audience but ended up shouting and shrieking into the microphone. On April 5th, JoJo Siwa released Karma, a complete mess. That one dance move still haunts me in my dreams. Also in April, there was this random story where Azalea Banks posted online that she had received Addison Rae's mail. How does this happen?
My sister, I've been waiting to talk to you, my sister. Call me when you get back into the country. I have some news to share with you, my sister.
What is the contents of this mail? AR1? Troye Sivan also made waves by releasing a bottomless fruit bowl. Bottomless fruit bowl. This is a very unique piece that showcases its versatility as both a stylish holder for personal items and a functional fruit bowl, which I completely disagree with. This is not a bowl. A bowl intends to carry items. You could not carry fruit around your house in this. Most shocking of all is the price. There were 2 sizes you could buy. The smaller one was $196 and the bigger one, $718. What? On April 22nd, at a Nicki Minaj concert, a fan in the audience threw something at Nicki and she did not hesitate to throw it right back. On the 25th of April, we got a twink on twunk crime with Connor Franta and Mr. Daniel Prater. Daniel appeared on a bootleg version of James Corden's Spill Your Guts or Fill Your Guts on Joey Graceffa's channel, whom was his ex-boyfriend. Daniel told a story about being jealous of Connor Franta back in the day when him and Joey dated until he discovered that he was really boring.
I was jealous of a certain YouTuber. Name them. Connor Franta. But then I realized that he's the most boring person I've ever met.
We don't need to be mean to Mr.
I'm not
Franta.
being mean, I'm being honest. There's a big difference here. Anyways, that's beyond. Nobody cares about him anymore.
Connor then clapped back on TikTok.
And legend has it you are still jealous of me, Daniel. You have been subtweeting me. My name has been in your mouth and on your mind for years. You're obsessed with me. I don't know why. I don't think about you. The internet doesn't think about you. You are categorized as one thing, Joey Graceffa's ex-boyfriend. Leave me alone. If my crime is being boring, your crime is being nothing.
On the 29th of April, Quavo experienced an incredibly low turnout at one of his concerts. People theorized online that Chris Brown was responsible for this by buying out all the tickets so that no one would show up to his concert. However, the Twitter fact checker has said that there is no evidence of him doing this. Ending off the month, on the 30th of April, Barbra Streisand accidentally asked Melissa McCarthy whether she was on Ozempic under one of her Instagram pictures instead of actually DMing her. We're in May, guys. We made it to May. On the 3rd of May, to promote the upcoming Brat album, Charli XCX rented out a wall in LA and painted it Brat green. This was a really simple yet genius branding move up until someone smeared literal feces on it. On the 4th of May, Ice Spice's former friend Baby Storm leaked messages where Ice Spice called Nicki Minaj ungrateful and delusional. This text thread was in response to Ice being upset with Nicki after she tried to pressure her into a deal where Nicki would receive a bunch of Ice's publishing. There was also tea that Barbie World was just meant to be an Ice Spice solo project before Nicki decided to hop on the track. On the same day, Shania Twain unveiled a collector's edition of her album, Honey, I'm Home, and it's, girl. During the roast of Tom Brady, Kim Kardashian got booed.
I know a lot of people make fun of your height.
During May, we also get the desecration of the New York City, Ireland portal. This was an interactive art installation created by a Lithuanian artist that allowed people in New York City and Dublin to interact with each other using 24-hour live streaming video screens. The installation aimed to transcend physical barriers and foster global interconnectedness by providing a visual bridge between the two cities. However, people had different plans. On the 17th of May, chaos ensued in Taiwan's parliament over a controversial reform bill. To avoid this bill from being passed, a legislator grabbed the bill and ran away with it. Also in May, the Cannes Film Festival was an absolute hot mess. During a red carpet event, Kelly Rowland found herself in a heated exchange with a security worker. A worker attempted to usher Kelly off the red carpet by placing a hand on her back, which made Kelly visibly upset. She turned to the worker and sternly said, "Don't talk to me like that." In a later interview, Kelly asserted that she felt the need to assert herself after she had noticed that other women were not treated the same way. Also in Cannes, Travis Scott and Tyga got into a heated exchange which quickly turned into a physical fight. The incident began when a nightclub tycoon gave a shout out to both rappers on stage, which seemed to upset Travis Scott for some reason. The situation then intensified when Tyga's close friend AE got into a verbal exchange with Travis. Despite all of this chaos, no serious injuries were reported and the event continued as was after the scuffle was resolved. On the 26th of May, Nicki Minaj gets arrested by police in Amsterdam after police found dozens of joints in her luggage. Nicki filmed the detainment on her Instagram Live, which gave us this hilarious door slam. As a result, Nicki had to postpone her concert in Manchester, and it was so last minute that the entire crowd was already at the venue waiting. Ending off the month, Donald Trump is found guilty on 34 charges. Thank God that this happened, because now more people will realize that he cannot be the president of the United States. Starting off the month of June, Jennifer Lopez announced that she was cancelling her tour to spend more time with her children, close friends, and family, which is code for poor ticket sales. June also saw the heightening of the feud between Cardi B and Bia. It all started when Bia accused Cardi of copying her style on the track Like What Freestyle, which sampled the same Missy Elliott song that Bia had used in her earlier release, Fallback. The tension escalated when Cardi seemingly dissed Bia in her verse on the remix of Glorilla and Megan Thee Stallion's song, Wannabe, leading to a series of heated exchanges on social media.
I'm stuck like that when wanna see her. Bitch, please, don't nobody wanna pay her. I'm so appalled at the fact that she thinks that I'm copying her or that I'm stealing from her. Cause there's nothing that she do that I like. I don't like her music. I don't like her style. I don't like how she look. I don't like nothing about her. I don't even see the bitch. So it's like more or less.
Bia then responded by posting another diss track online titled Sue Me, which accused Cardi B of cheating, which prompted Cardi B to threaten legal action.
When you lie about my pussy, I'ma sue you. And you gotta come with receipts.
The very next day, Taylor Monson, who was performing on stage, was bitten by a bat.
There's a flying bat on my leg right now. Can someone help me, please?
On June 7, the Brat album by Charli XCX was released. This was probably the most significant day of the entire year. There was a bunch of mess, however, with two songs in particular. Firstly, Sympathy is a Knife, which was allegedly about Taylor Swift. Hinted with the lyrics, don't want to see you backstage at my boyfriend's show. Fingers crossed behind my back, I hope they break up quick. Referencing Taylor Swift's relationship with the lead singer of the 1975, Matt Healy, who was the bandmate of George Daniel, that was Charli XCX's fiance. Did we all get what I was saying then? This diss seemingly comes back to bite Charli in the butt. More on this later. The other song that created a bunch of mess on the Brat album was Girl So Confusing, that referenced a woman that Charli had a love-hate relationship with. Are we friends? Are we not? I'm rooting for you, but I'm also jealous of you. It's confusing. One of the lyrics in the song was, people say we're alike, that we've got the same hair, which got people theorizing who this could be about. Some said Rina Sawayama, some said Marina, and others said Lorde. What made things a bit more confusing was that when the album dropped, Lorde posted on her Instagram that this was a fantastic album and that she was so excited for it, and it was actually the first album that she ever pre-saved on Spotify. So people weren't really sure whether it was about Lorde because they seemed kinda cool and wouldn't Lorde be offended by the song yada yada yada, but all was revealed a couple weeks later when the Girl So Confusing remix was released featuring Lorde. This broke the internet. This was the best song released this year, and this is probably Diet Pepsi exists. Never mind. This was the second best song released this year, and this song is probably one of the best remixes ever released, just based on the entire narrative of the song. The remix brings so much closure. It's fantastic. Remember about a minute ago when I said that releasing Sympathy is a Knife would bite Charli in the butt? Well, let's talk about it. Taylor Swift released her album The Tortured Poets Department in April. It dominated the charts and blocked several artists from reaching the coveted #1 spot, including Charli XCX. Brat was without a doubt Charli's most successful and most critically acclaimed album of her entire career. It was even projected by the UK charts to go #1 on the week of its release. However, after this was reported, Taylor decided to release a new digital variant of her album, which included a draft phone memo that was only available in the UK. This was war, and Taylor ended up winning because she claimed the #1 spot. Charli was not the only victim of Taylor Swift's reign. When Billie Eilish released her album Hit Me Hard and Soft, despite achieving her largest week ever in terms of album units, Billie's album only debuted at #2, just behind the Tortured Poets Department. This was a result of Taylor releasing multiple digital and physical variants of her album the same week that Billie released her album. At this point, people online started accusing Taylor Swift of being anti-woman because she kept on trying to block women from getting #1 on the charts. People also referenced how Taylor tried to do the same thing when SZA released SOS at the end of 2023 by releasing more variants of her album Midnights. However, she was unsuccessful. What ended up confusing people was that when men were releasing albums, suddenly Taylor wasn't releasing any variants that week. It seemed like she didn't want to compete with men. For example, when Eminem released his new album, she did not release any new variants. She was not competing. This gave her the reputation that she was anti-woman because she only wanted to compete with females. On the 18th of June, Katy Perry announced the lead single to her upcoming album, Woman's World, to be released in a month's time.
We were all so happy that day. It's actually hard to even imagine how terrible things would soon become.
Also in June, there were protests around the cleaning of the Seine in Paris due to it being a waste of a taxpayer dollar. The French government did not want to clean up the Seine for Parisians, but rather because they were hosting the Olympics and they thought it'd be a cool idea for athletes to swim in the Seine. The mayor even promised to take a swim to prove that the Seine was clean. As a way to protest, Parisians planned to poop in the Seine knowing that the mayor would have to swim in it. This, however, did not end up happening. On the 18th of June, Justin Timberlake, while in Sag Harbor, got arrested for driving while intoxicated. The arrest occurred after police observed Justin running a stop sign and swerving out of his lane. Justin refused to take a breathalyzer test, so was held overnight by the police department. When Justin was arrested, he reportedly said, "This is gonna ruin the tour." The police officer, who had no idea who Justin Timberlake was, responded saying, "What tour?" Which Justin then responded, "The world tour." After reaching a plea deal, Justin gave a press statement saying even if you've had one drink, don't get behind the wheel of a car. On June 18, Sydney Sweeney posted this to her Instagram, which proved that she is one of us. If you know, you know. On the 20th of June, we get another arrest, this time with Travis Scott in Miami Beach for disorderly intoxication and trespassing after allegedly yelling at people on a yacht and admitting to drinking. Just like every other year, during this year's 4th of July, we got some rogue fireworks. On the 18th of July, Azalea Banks posted this mildly terrifying Instagram story, @ing Lord.
I've been waiting to talk to you, my sister. Call me on the phone, my sister. I have some present for you. I have some information for you. And I have something for you.
In July, we also got a lot of désordre, which is mess in French, because we got a lot of mess in France in July. Firstly, a far-right MP was standing next to a ballot box in Parliament. When left-wing members went up to cast their votes, they would dodge the handshake. Even one of them played rock, paper, scissors. Secondly, we got the Paris Olympics, which were messy like soccer. There was a scandal where Canada was caught using a drone to spy on the New Zealand women's soccer team during their training sessions. The New Zealand team reported the drone to the local police, which led to the dismissal of Canadian staff members that were involved. Canada's soccer issued apologies and faced disciplinary actions from FIFA. French pole vaulter Anthony Ammirati got cock-blocked. Literally. His Willy Wonka Glasgow experience knocked the bar off. His response? It's a big disappointment. Several triathletes also experienced severe vomiting after swimming in the Seine. Despite efforts to clean the river before the Olympics, concerns about water quality persisted, with high levels of fecal bacteria detected. The men's triathlon event was even postponed due to these concerns. Athletes reported feeling unwell after their race, raising questions about the safety of holding such events in the Seine. Could you imagine training for 4 years just to be told that you would be swimming in a river full of poop? Devastating. We also got Ray Gunn, the Australian breakdancer. Some critics claimed that her unique style and moves, like the kangaroo hop, were unconventional and did not align with traditional breakdancing techniques. This led to her scoring 0 points in all of her matches. But Ray Gunn herself stated that she took the competition seriously and gave it her all. Because of all the backlash on social media, this eventually led to her retiring officially from competitive breakdancing. On July 19, we had the CrowdStrike incident. A major global IT outage caused by a faulty software update from cybersecurity firm CrowdStrike disrupted numerous industries worldwide. The update affected systems running Microsoft Windows, which led to widespread issues including grounded flights, hospital service interruptions, and banking disruptions, which affected me personally. When I tried to pay for something, it said declined. They thought I had insufficient funds. It was embarrassing.
You don't have the income coming in anymore.
Oh my goodness. On July 22nd, after months of concerns around Joe Biden's capacity to lead the United States.
What concerns do you have about Vice President Harris's ability to beat Donald Trump if she were at the top of the ticket?
Look, I wouldn't have picked Vice President Trump to be vice president, but I think she was not qualified to be president. So let's start there.
He released a statement confirming that he would not be running for a second term and endorsed Kamala Harris. At the beginning of August, the film It Ends With Us was released, and it probably had the most messiest promo cycle of the entire year. The film touched on very serious subject matters including domestic violence, however, it was promoted more like a rom-com. There was this weird push to tell people to wear florals and make this a night to remember. Oh, and don't forget to go watch Blake Lively's Husbands movie right after, just like Barbenheimer, like...
It's not the vibe. Stop!
Blake Lively was dragged online. She was called tone deaf, she was called a mean girl, even an old interview of her resurfaced that made her look really bad.
First of all, congrats on your little bump.
Congrats on your little bump.
There was also an alleged feud between Blake Lively and her director slash co-star Justin Baldoni. The narrative was that Blake was overstepping her involvement behind the scenes and disrespecting Justin's role in the making of the movie. But more on this later. In August, we got news that Disney was trying to legally unalive us. Well, sorta kinda. One woman tragically died from an allergic reaction at a restaurant in Disney World. Her husband filed the lawsuit claiming that despite assurances from the restaurant staff, the food served to his wife contained allergens. Disney, however, sought to dismiss the lawsuit, arguing that when the husband signed up to Disney Plus, he agreed to the terms of service which included mandatory arbitration for disputes. But after receiving a bunch of public backlash, Disney decided to waive its arbitration rights and allowed the case to proceed to court. On the 20th of August, Jennifer Lopez filed for divorce from Ben Affleck, splitting up again. The couple rekindled their romance in 2021 after nearly 2 decades apart. Despite their attempts to make things work, reports suggested growing tensions and lifestyle differences ultimately led to their split. This came after J-Lo's big budget movie that focused on a love story between the two. I mean, I think we all knew that divorce was around the corner when this paparazzi video dropped. On the 23rd of August, Sabrina Carpenter released her album Short and Sweet, which fueled rumors and speculation around a love triangle between herself, Shawn Mendes, and Camila Cabello. Shawn and Camila dated for several years and then broke up, and then Shawn had a short and sweet fling with Sabrina Carpenter. During this time, Shawn was also catching up with Camila, famously spotted together at Coachella. Camila has a song on her new album called June Gloom that references the rekindling with Shawn Mendes while he was still seeing Sabrina, referenced in lyrics such as, "If she's so amazing, why are you on this side of town?" Sabrina then released her album Short and Sweet, referencing the short and sweet relationship with Shawn, and released the single Taste that is about Shawn and Camila getting back together. Clearly expressed through the lyrics, "Heard you're back together, and if that's true, you're just gonna have to taste me while he's kissing you." And the casting of Jenna Ortega, very suspicious. 3 days after Taste was released, Camila posted a TikTok lip-syncing to her song June Gloom.
If she's so amazing, why are you on this side of town?
There was also a concert where she dodged the word taste in the lyrics to Senorita.
But friends don't know the way you...
She was a pressed panini. All 3 artists performed at the 2024 MTV VMAs, which I have done a video on, which you can go watch right here. In August, we also got a very strange social media experiment reveal where Nicki Avocado came back onto social media with severe weight loss. He said his entire existence on social media was a social experiment, which left people scratching their heads because what was the experiment? What was the hypothesis? What was the findings?
2 steps ahead. I am always 2 steps ahead.
Some people thought that he pre-filmed these videos before he gained weight, but there was a video of him doing the viral Apple dance, which was one of the biggest trending songs on TikTok in 2024, proving that these videos were recent. Speaking of the Apple dance, this spawned a bunch of mess at Charlie's concerts. While on tour, the dance was given its own moment where select people in crowds were given the spotlight to do the dance on the big screen for the whole venue to watch. During one of the shows, the original creator of the dance was in attendance, so of course, she should be the one that has the spotlight to do her dance. It should have been smooth sailing. Kelly was serving dancing on her own, but all of a sudden, a girl who definitely is on something interrupted her moment. Kelly even had to come out of the woodworks and tell everybody to stop sending the other girl hate because it was not that serious. Some people wondered whether all of this hate was fueled by fat phobia, questioning whether the same treatment would have occurred if the woman that interrupted was skinny. People were more likely to say, "Oh my gosh, mama, joint slay, Shalom Harlow and Naomi Campbell on the runway serving together, mama." If you think the Apple dance controversy ends there, you were sadly mistaken. At the show in LA, content creator Brittany Broski was featured as one of the dance participants. However, halfway through, an adult man, and I mean fully grown adult man, pushes Brittany out of the way so that he can get center stage. People gave this man even more flack because it seemed a lot more violent and intentional compared to what the other woman did. People found his social medias, where he worked, and pretty much destroyed him online. Even Charlie commented on this moment at another one of his shows. There was even a moment where he was at a local bar quiz and somebody took the opportunity to pull the same maneuver that he pulled on Brittany Broski. At the end of the video, you can see the smile drop from his face, clearly feeling upset by all of the hate that has come about from such a brief moment in time. At the end of August, we got the rise and fall of Chapel Roan. The rising pop star of 2024, for hits like Good Luck Babe and Hot to Go, cancelled 2 major festival performances in New York City and Maryland, citing overwhelming stress and the need to prioritize her mental health. The cancellations were announced a day before the All Things Go Music Festival, which is just so last minute. People are flying across the country, booking hotels. They're not gonna get this money back. In an Instagram statement, Chapel expressed her apologies and explained that she was feeling the pressures of sudden fame and needed to take a step back to focus on her mental well-being. She also cancelled some shows because she had to practice her performance at the VMAs, which we will talk about later. During the second half of the year, we also got a bunch of celebrity lookalike contests. It seemingly started with Timothée Chalamet's lookalike contest, where Timothy even showed up in person. The police, however, were not so impressed and ended up arresting 4 people after they told the crowd to disperse. Jeremy Allen White surprisingly had really good lookalikes and some that, let's move on. Zayn Malik's was a flop. Paul Mescal's a flop. Rachel Sennett's a giant flop. Somebody said that it was a bunch of Rachels and no Fatimas. In September, it was also announced that X would be temporarily suspended in Brazil, which led to a bunch of Brazilian fan accounts tweeting tearful goodbyes. Where am I gonna get my Addison Rae updates? On September 10, Joe Biden says this.
Next tomorrow, I'm doing 9/11.
At the end of September, Lana Del Rey married an alligator swamp tour guide in Louisiana. This came after Lana denied the rumors online. According to TMZ, her wedding dress was thrifted for only $400. The man's ex-fiancée of 12 years came out of the woodworks and said that she was in shock that he got married after only 1 month, but said that he was a great guy. Also at the end of September, Sabrina Carpenter somehow got the New York City mayor indicted. This all stemmed from her music video for Feather, filmed at a Brooklyn church. The video that featured provocative scenes led to scrutiny of the church's dealings and ultimately contributed to a broader investigation into the mayor's alleged corruption. The mayor was indicted on charges of bribery and conspiracy.
Should we talk about how I got the mayor indicted, or?
At the beginning of October, Joke Folle Adu was released to terrible reviews. There was even a clip of Joaquin Phoenix mouthing "It's terrible" to Lady Gaga after a screening. On the 8th of October, we get this strange article with the headline, Raven Simonier had to toss out Louis Vuitton shoes after pooping her pants. For context, Raven was on a colon cleanse. One day she was stuck in a car and had the urge to go. The car pulled over on the side of the road, she squatted, and one thing led to another. On the 15th of October, Olivia Rodrigo fell through a hole during one of her concerts. Ouch. On the 22nd of October, we got a random beef between Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, and Ariana Grande. Elvira shared a story about a disappointing encounter with Ariana years prior. According to Elvira, Ariana attended an event with around 20 guests and requested tickets for all of them. After the show, Ariana asked Elvira to take photos with her friends and family, which Elvira agreed to. However, when Elvira asked Ariana for a photo together, she declined.
Then I say to her, "Could we take a photo together?" And she goes, "No, I don't really do that."
She's playing the wrong witch.
Tamar, have you ever watched the show?
Ariana later apologized on Instagram, explaining that she had an anxiety attack at the time and did not remember the interaction clearly. She expressed her regret and gratitude towards Elvira for being kind to her mother. However, she might have different feelings about that now, but she'll talk to her. All I can say is, it's a knife win. On the 25th of October, Helen Mirren says that she feels sad that Kurt Cobain is no longer alive because he never got the chance to experience GPS and its magical functionality. Not yet Thanksgiving, but on Halloween, Joe Biden enjoyed biting into some succulent turkey. The only issue was, it was not a turkey. It was a human baby dressed up as a turkey. During the final quarter of this year, Chapel Roan also had a bunch of confrontations with photographers on red carpets. While on the red carpet at the 2024 VMAs, photographers were shouting at each other, which led one photog to tell another to shut the f up. Chapel overheard this exchange on the carpet, so decided to intervene. The media mistakenly thought that the photographer was telling Chapel to shut up, but no, she was just standing up for someone else. Additionally, at the Guts movie premiere, she accused a photographer on the carpet of being disrespectful to her at the Grammys.
Yelled at me at the Grammy party at the university. You were so rude to me, and I deserve an apology.
At the beginning of November, we found out the result of the US election. Let's talk about the best hits during the year. It goes without saying that the Trump assassination attempt was a major moment. I'm more interested in this lady in the background playing Candy Crush. We also got the Kamala x Brat collab. Charlie XCX tweeted, "Kamala is Brat," which propelled Brat Summer into an entirely new beast. Kamala's social media team used the Brat generator template as the banner. Brat remixes were all over TikTok, and news programs had to try and decode what it all meant.
That's Brat. And for those who are not in the know the way I am, that is a cool thing. It has a color. Chartreuse is the color. Quote, Brat, "You're just that girl who is a little messy and likes to party and maybe says some dumb things sometimes." End quote.
There was that moment in the debate where Trump talked about illegal aliens eating dogs.
They're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there.
And then there was the national anthem at the third-party debate.
Can I go back? Can I go back, please? I got too nervous.
For those that have been living under a rock, Wicked was released this year and it was one of the best-selling movies of 2024. Promotion for this movie was everywhere to the point that it created some mess of its own. Firstly, dolls were released of Alphaba the Green Witch and Galinda the Pinky Girly Good Witch. On the back of the box, which contained all of the fine print, it listed wicked.com as the movie's URL. To most people, this makes complete sense, but I would not advise visiting wicked.com. The proper website was wickedmovie.com, but instead, Mattel linked an 18+ site on the box of a children's doll. A huge product recall was commenced, however, for the people that had already bought the doll, parents were advised to redact the website on the box before their kids had the opportunity to type in the URL. The version of this box has now become a collector's item, which can now be resold for up to $800, so if you've got this box, Congratulations. Another huge mess came from a fan edit of one of the movie posters. For those that know the Broadway musical, you may be familiar with this poster. Universal created their own version of this poster with Cynthia and Ariana, except some people found it lacking compared to the original. One passionate fan decided to edit the movie poster to make it look more similar to the original. They raised Ariana's hand to cover more of her face, they added red lips onto Cynthia as well as lowered her witch's hat. It looked great and a lot of people thought that it looked even better than the original, but to Cynthia Erivo, not so much. Cynthia posted, "I think I'm really protective of the role, and just as I'm passionate as well, I am passionate about it and know that the fans are passionate about it, and I think for me it was just like a human moment of like wanting to protect little Alphaba. It was like a human moment. I probably should have called my friends, but it's fine." This made people think that Cynthia was overly sensitive and was caring way too much about things that don't really matter. When Charlie XCX and Ariana Grande released the Sympathy is a Knife remix, Charlie posted an edit of Instagram of herself being Alphaba, the Wicked Witch of the West. Cynthia Erivo commented under this photo saying, "Wow." Initially, people thought that this was a comment of support, however, in light of Cynthia's subsequent comments, people viewed this more in the light of a wow. You're leaving me out again. There were also a bunch of viral press interviews, but what took the cake was the holding space for the lyrics to Defying Gravity interview. Out Magazine's Tracy Gilchrist informed Cynthia that she witnessed people taking the lyrics of Defying Gravity and really holding space with that.
People are taking the lyrics of Defying Gravity and really holding space with that.
I didn't know that was happening.
I've seen it, yeah.
People really held space for this interview, turning it into a million memes. Making fun of Ariana and Cynthia's reactions, the grabbing of the nail, the random mention of being in queer media.
I've seen it on a couple posts. I don't know how widespread, but I am in queer media, so that's my,
That's really cool.
Yeah, but yeah, it's happening.
But the funniest thing about this entire interview was that no one knew what was happening. Not Ariana, not Cynthia, not the interviewer, no one. The interviewer released a statement saying that she sorta kinda lied about seeing people online holding space for the lyrics, saying to Variety that most of it came from a conversation with a friend. I was a little thrown off by Cynthia's response because it was so sincere and real. I was a little flustered. I could have said I have all of these friends and this was our conversation, but instead I said, I'm in queer media. Ariana and Cynthia also explained what was going on inside of their heads.
So I didn't know what any part of it meant. And then I definitely didn't understand what was happening, how you responded. I was like, oh, what did she say and what did you hear? I remember in the moment asking myself, am I okay? Did I not hear something? And I was like, because she looks like she's about to cry again, and I'm gonna grab this because I think you might need something. Yeah. And I don't know what the tapping was about, but that
Tension. She was seeing it because she was in queer media.
I am in queer media.
And I was like, I honestly didn't know what that meant. And am I also in queer media?
Yeah.
Maybe?
We are, great.
Work. Let's both be there.
It was so beautiful. Yeah. I just am glad. I feel really relieved that the world had the same experience with this moment that I did.
The interviewer was able to capitalize off of this moment by selling merch and collaborating with MAC Cosmetics.
We're holding space at the MAC store today. Is everyone aware that we're holding space here today? I don't know if you know this, but all Viva Glam lipsticks are designed with a small little area in the cap for holding space.
On the 2nd of November, we get the most random beef between Martha Stewart and Ryan Reynolds. She said, he's not so funny in real life. No, he's not so funny. He's very serious. He's a good actor. He can act funny, but he isn't funny. Ryan then tried to beat the unfunny allegations by responding on Twitter, but it was not funny. It sucks because I know that he was sitting down brainstorming a response for hours. Even Hugh Jackman's response was funnier. On the 14th of November, Lil Nas X was accused of plagiarism. Seda Bodega wrote on Twitter, not even trying to put a spin on this is where I'm like, yeesh. On the 19th of November, John Stamos stood in solidarity with his Full House co-star that had shaved his head due to his cancer diagnosis. The only weird thing about this is, John did not shave his head. He put on a bald cap. On the 3rd of December, Alex Consani was announced as the Fashion Awards Model of the Year. She was the first trans model to win the coveted award. During her acceptance speech, she thanked the people that paved the way for her, including black trans women. Immediately after, another finalist, Anok Yai, posted an Instagram story of Kanye West at the 2009 VMAs after interrupting Taylor Swift, seemingly shading the Fashion Awards for not giving her the win. She quickly took the story down and tweeted, "If you have seen the effort Alex put in, you would understand how proud I am of her. But Alex can be proud and I can be exhausted at the same time." There. Also on the 3rd of December, the president of South Korea, Yoon Suk-yeol, felt under political threat by the opposition party, so he declared martial law during a televised address. He accused the Democratic Party of conducting anti-state activities and collaborating with North Korean communists to destroy the country, thereby creating a legislative dictatorship. This event was characterized as an attempted coup d'etat by Korean politicians and international news organizations. A few hours later, lawmakers present in the National Assembly unanimously passed a motion to lift martial law despite attempts by security forces to prevent the vote. After martial law was lifted, the opposition stated that they would begin impeachment proceedings against Yoon if he did not resign. However, the vote to impeach failed because it did not get enough votes in Parliament. Also in December, Taylor Swift released the Eras Tour book, which received massive sales. It sold 814,000 copies in the first week. However, several people complained that the book was misprinted, with random pages being printed upside down. I guess you could call this the Eras Tour book. On the 6th of December, the US Court of Appeals announced that TikTok would be banned in the United States on the 19th of January 2025 unless it was sold to an American company. TikTok, not backing down, is appealing the decision to the Supreme Court in hopes that the ban will be Dorinda Medlead, aka put on pause. During a Vampire Diaries convention panel, Nina Dobrev almost got concussed by a stage backdrop.
If I didn't know what it was.
On the 8th of December, we get a very niche yet messy moment. At the Variety Hitmakers brunch, this one interviewer's space was definitely not held. During an interview with Lofi, Olivia Rodrigo spawned out of nowhere to block the camera and no one tells her to move because it's Olivia Rodrigo. During an interview with Benson Boone, this one lady starts taking photos.
In the middle of...
Sorry. We're actually live right now. I'm just...
Sorry.
I'm so sorry. We're gonna take that.
During one of Billie Eilish's concerts, she gets hit with a friendship bracelet. On the 4th of December, the CEO of United Healthcare was assassinated. We are not going to go too much into depth on this one because this video is meant to be lighthearted, not whatever this is. For those that do not know, the CEO was fatally shot on a street by Luigi Mangione. He was ultimately caught after a McDonald's worker recognized him. Because he is so young, he has an insane digital footprint. He listened to Charlie XCX and rated the Lorax 5 stars on Goodreads. The internet kind of fell in love with him because, let's put it this way, Ryan Murphy will be paying top dollar for his life rights. Remember earlier when I talked about the mess with the release of the film It Ends With Us? Well, on the 20th of December, Blake Lively filed a lawsuit against Justin Baldoni for sexual harassment and alleged that he created a smear campaign against her. As the release of the film approached, Justin hired a PR crisis manager that also worked for Johnny Depp during the Amber Heard hearing, so basically, this person is very good at their job. Private messages were leaked between Justin's publicist and the PR manager. I'm not completely sure how these messages were leaked, but in summary, Justin was going to pay them $175,000 to assist taking down social accounts, starting theories, and changing the narrative. It was revealed that Sony, the distributor of the film, wanted the cast to promote the film as uplifting rather than serious, which is where the whole Go where your florals to the domestic violence movie came from. In the leaked messages, the PR manager allegedly amplified the criticisms of Blake being tone deaf to shift the narrative. Out of all of the alleged leaked messages, this one hits home the most. It's where the PR manager wrote, "It's actually sad because it just shows that you have people really want to hate on women." Of course, Justin Baldoni denied all of the allegations. I cannot wait to see how this unfolds in 2025. And that is the end of 2024. I hope nothing messy happens in the final few days. I know that there was a bunch of stuff that I missed, but I made the executive decision to not talk about the incredibly dark news stories. I'm sure a few come to mind. Outside of these, was there anything that I missed? And tell me in the comments, what was your favorite messy moment of 2024? A reminder that I have a Patreon where I'm posting exclusive content. Currently I have videos up on the 2002, 2003, 2007, and 2013 VMA pre-shows. They were all absolute hot messes. Go click the link in the description. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and heck, why not share with your friends? And I'll see you in the new year. See ya!